where you are.
Even if I'm out of town, I have it on my phone.
It's always available right at your fingertips.
Round-the-clock coverage of local athletes.
High school sports coverage the way it's supposed to be.
I love what they did with the website.
Download the free app now. YourSportsEdge.com.
Good morning.
Grab your cup, pull up a chair. There's always room at our table. Coffee Talk with Tess on 1580 103.3 WPKY.
Oh, my goodness, that's a lot of buttons. I mean, that's a lot of buttons on a Friday, let alone a Tuesday. And I was cold this morning. Were y'all?
Yes.
I hate to admit it, because we have a whole fight going on in my house over the thermostat, and it's kind of like a competition, like who can go the longest without turning it on. And now don't get me wrong, the older I get, especially, the more I win that fight, because I'm also the one that turns the air conditioner down to like freezing. Mm-hmm. Icicles on the nose. That's what I get accused of. So I'm thinking, I can hold out. Are you cold? You want me to turn the heater on? Nope, I'm fine. Okay, last night I was cold.
Yes.
I'm not going to, I don't want him to know that, though, so don't tell the hups, okay? Because that's an awful lot of ego that I got to let go of, if I admit that. Mm-hmm. So this is Miss Michelle and Miss Rebecca, and I'm telling you, you guys have knocked it out of the park at George Coon.
We try, yeah.
And I got to say, lady, that virtual story room, adorable.
Thank you.
I clicked all over the place on the fire engine. I mean, the whole thing was the cutest thing in the world. You had to have a little bit of fun when you put that together.
Oh, yeah, it is. It definitely is fun, yeah.
I started to say, I don't know. I mean, it looks like, don't get me wrong, it's a lot of work, but it looks like you enjoyed doing it.
Yes, it was fun. It was fun.
Well, I have heard that all of the votes are in on the pumpkins.
They are in, and we have winners.
Hey, how about that?
Yeah, we actually had a tie for second place, so we were very excited about all the participation. First and foremost, from the businesses, we had 26 participants that created pumpkins, and they were all super cute.
That's a lot of participants, though, really and truly.
And it was a hard, I did not vote, but if I did, it was going to be a hard choice to decide which would be my favorite. So,
well, I saw some good-looking pumpkins.
They were. And then we were also excited about how much participation we had with people voting. We had a lot of online voting and then some in person. So it was a success, I think.
So do you want to announce the winners?
We can. Becca, would you like to announce those?
Oh, yeah. In first place, we had Big John's Barbecue in Farmersville. So Big John's won the first place prize. And like Nichelle said, for second place, we had a tie between Service Plus and Coondog Inn in Fredonia. That's right. So, and when all this started, I was excited that we had someone from Fredonia, we had Farmersville, and so it wasn't all just Princeton, and it wasn't just downtown, and then they won. They placed. Those two placed. In third place, we had Whistle Stop, Tiffany's Delights, Whistle Stop Donuts.
I'm going to tell you what, I see a theme going on this morning. Barbecue, pie, and donuts. That's what I heard. I heard barbecue pie and donuts.
Yes.
Or smoked turkeys. It depends on what you're looking for.
And Service Plus has plenty of treats in there, too.
See, that's what I have heard. They have got all the treats to put in the baskets and all of the little munchies and all of that good stuff. So I'm going to tell you, I like the theme. I like where this stuff's going.
We can tell what the voters are thinking about.
Well, yeah. So what else have you got going? I happened to see something at the top of the page today, too. And I would have you know I was a good girl, and I didn't say anything. I was good.
I am going to let Becca talk about that.
So I don't know if the last time we were in here we mentioned it or not, and then there was a video last Friday we put on our Facebook page that we had heard some different libraries were reporting that dinosaurs were popping up at their facilities.
I heard that.
And we just weren't for sure what to expect. And so we were right. And yesterday morning, if you have seen on our Facebook page, we went outside to get our packages, and we had dinosaurs. And they were trying to ring the doorbell to get in.
Oh, my goodness.
So we have dinosaurs, and this morning we have story hour at 10. And so this morning, what we're going to ask of our patrons, especially our young readers, is we just have too many dinosaurs at the library. So when they come in,
I would think one could be the
well, that's what we said
mean,
Friday.
We're not even equipped for one. Nope.
No, so it's kind of like a gremlin-like feeling because they're just like in the bookshelves and, you know, they're watching and they're doing different things. So what we're doing...
Don't get them wet, Rebecca.
Right. So what we're asking is when our young readers come into the library, if they spot a dinosaur, so far they don't bite. We haven't noticed anything like that. So if they find one, bring it to the front desk. We'll have something to give in return. But that helps us keep a control on, you know, the trapped dinosaurs and the loose dinosaurs. And then also, because the number is just so many at the library, we're asking if they would come in and they'll have a box like this. I know listeners can't see it, but you can.
Oh, yeah. Show it to the video.
So,
they can show you.
Fantastic. That's great.
She's like, oh, well, thank you.
And if they will, get one of these boxes, and inside are 3 dinosaurs. And so this kind of helps us thin the herd at the library.
Yeah.
And so what we'll ask of you is, like the picture yesterday, we'll post some more pictures of what, you know, let you all know what they're doing at the library. But if you would, when you take this box of 3 dinosaurs home, is take some pictures of them, show us what they're doing up at your house, you know, if they're getting into mischief or anything like that. So,
well, that kind of tells you what they're capable of doing up at the library, too. So
yes,
we've got this.
They're very creative.
We've got dino hunting and like some scientific stuff going on now.
Yes, and so in preparation for this, we're pulling some dinosaur books, some fiction and nonfiction. So if you're interested in dinosaurs at all, which I'm sure we have some little people that are, and big people too.
I started to say,
big people too.
I'm not very little, but I'm interested.
So you can come check out some books on dinosaurs and study up on them. Maybe give us some tips on how to handle them.
I think that's some serious business.
It is.
We don't need them, like, we just got through, Nichelle, we just got through, like, remodeling all kinds of things.
We did, yes.
Kathy Swoboda is not going to like the dinosaurs running around.
No, she is not. No, we've got to get rid of them, yes, soon. Yeah, we redid the bathrooms, and we redid the kitchen and the auditorium, and we've put a wall upstairs to, in the future, near future, create some more reading space, quiet reading space. So, yeah, we can't have.
Can you imagine the dinosaur in the kitchen?
I know.
That's a bad idea.
It is.
I mean, the rest of it wasn't a bad idea. I can imagine TP everywhere, and then it gets in the kitchen, and that's just a whole mess that Kathy is not going to appreciate.
Yeah, everything is so new and clean and stuff. Yeah, the dinosaurs, we can't have them making big
new vanities in the restroom.
Yeah.
I caught one of them filling up the sink, so I don't know if it's like pool day to them or not.
You know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So we need some help thinning up the dinosaurs.
It sounds like you need a lot of help.
Yeah, we can't keep up with all of them.
No. So, I mean, they get their box, right? And that's how and it's right there at the front desk?
Yes. So they'll come in and then they'll be able to check out this box, take it home, take some pictures, send us some of the pictures, let us know what they're doing, you know, at your home. And we might have some prizes for some pictures.
I mean, it happens. You know, Fish and Game. You know, even through the state and national level, they have to keep like records of animals and document what they're doing and where they're going, the migration.
Right.
And so now we need to do this with the dinosaurs.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Well, I'm glad y'all are in charge of it because. I mean, I've got a couple of little T-Rexes at my house, but they're teenagers now, so.
Yes.
I mean, they have names. They're my children. But, I mean, I left my daughter out of that because I thought she doesn't, you know, the other 2 boys. Something about that. Mm-hmm. So, how long do we think that the dinosaurs are going to be hanging? Do we know? Is this a seasonal thing? They're going to move on? Or
we've talked to some other libraries that have experienced this before. And, I mean, no, not just this year, but in years past. And it seems about a month for the month of November.
About a month.
Mm-hmm. It's been tagged Dino-Vember.
So they migrate. Is that what they do? They're just migrating, maybe south for the winter.
That may be it.
I might go with them.
It's getting a little cold.
Yes,
I've heard that some of them might be a little cold. Well, they don't have any fur that I know of. Maybe some of these do.
I mean, I think some more recent studies have shown feathers. You know, are a thing. So maybe.
Wow. Well, I'm just saying, if you don't have a coat on in this kind of weather, you're going to be be a little chilly. So, kids, parents, grandparents, how much fun would that be? You know, grandma can take them down there too. So go down, make sure that they get their box, and make sure that they help out, because this is a way that they can really be involved and help at the library too. Because sometimes kids say, you know what, I want to be involved and I want to help and I don't know how. And this is something that even the littles can get involved and help out with.
Definitely.
So that's pretty cool. So what else? I mean, do you have time for anything else other than dinosaurs and pumpkins?
Well, of course, Tess. We have lots of things going on. I have a question for you. When you drive around town and you see all these signs in the windows of businesses, a lot of businesses, what do they say?
Well, a lot of them are saying help wanted.
Yes. And so we are trying to help the businesses again with that. And we are hosting a job fair next Friday from 10 to 5. 10 to 5. That's right. We have time to set up. Yes, we open at 9, so the businesses are going to come in and set up 10 to 5. And we are also going to host some help sessions for resume building next Monday and Tuesday from 5 to 7 in the evening.
I'm telling you, I think that is fantastic, because, you know, a lot of times there's job fairs and they say show up, but we need time to put resumes together, especially if we're trying to upsell ourselves and get, go to the next step and the next step and go up the ladder. So I think that's perfect.
Yes. So we are calling on businesses that wish to participate. If you'll just call the library, and we'll get you registered if you're a business that wants to participate in the job fair. We already have some signed up, so already some willing to participate. I know there's probably many more out there that would like to, so just give us a call and we'll get you registered in a spot. We're going to have it in the auditorium, and so we'll get you a spot reserved for that. And then, like I said, on Monday and Tuesday for job applicants, we're hosting the resume help session from 5 to 7. You can come. You don't have to come both nights. You can just come one. And then we're also going to be giving you free print copies of your resume. And then also, because a lot of businesses these days, you have to do all your application and stuff online. So we also have free flash drives that we're going to load your or help you load your resume on, so you'll be able to take it and put it to the computer and upload it. So.
I mean, for goodness sake. Now, if I'm going to be coming down there and seeing you guys, not because I'm looking. I'm just saying, can I chase dinosaurs while I'm there?
Yes.
Okay.
Of course. Yeah.
I'd like to do both at the same time equally. I think this is a great opportunity, though. It's local. We have got so many businesses coming into the area. Heather and I were out just the other day. Of course, that's not a shock, but we were out and, we met someone that would like to open a business. So, I mean, there is jobs here and jobs available. And this is a great way to match the lookers and the seekers together in one place. And again, I love that you're having them come in and helping them build that resume. So again, tell us the times and all of that good stuff.
We will be doing the help sessions on Monday and Tuesday, both nights from 5 to 7. And then the job fair will be on Friday from 10 to 5. So I actually, I went through a drive-through the other day, and the lady was like, hey, do you know anybody that needs a job? And that's kind of what sparked this idea. I was like, there are lots of businesses in just our town that are asking for help. And so we thought if we could get, a bunch of them in one spot, a bunch of businesses in one spot, that it's more bang for your buck, and you can, for the businesses and the applicants, they can utilize that time. So.
That is perfect. I mean, we do a segment once. Amanda Davenport comes in, and we do coffees and careers, and she's been bringing in employers that, are looking. And this is perfect because you get them all in one place. It's almost like you get to shop for a new job.
Right.
And how often do you get to do that? I mean, you get to go in, and everybody's already there. You get to pick and choose. And you might get hired on the spot. You never know.
Right.
I mean, that's actually happened quite often. So, I mean, you get to pick and choose, and it's almost like you have a menu of where would you like to work, how much would you like to make, and this is what they're offering.
Right.
So I think that's ridiculous and amazing. And tell us, how do we get involved if we're a business? Is there still opening?
Of course, yes. So you can just call the library at 270-365-2884, and we can get you all the information and get you registered.
I love that. So dinosaurs. Well, we gave away, of course, there was a giveaway for the businesses with the pumpkins. And so then the dinosaurs came in, and I bet you they really enjoyed like trying to eat those pumpkins, because I would think the dinosaurs would like pumpkins.
Yeah.
That might have been what drew them in.
That may be.
You never know.
Maybe.
It's like see? You don't think about it, but I wonder that's why they ended up. But anyway, now they're ended up, and they're at George Coon. So the kids need to go and wrangle up all the dinosaurs so that we can have a job fair.
That's right.
Yes.
See? Hello. We got it.
Yes.
So is that all you got going on? If that wasn't enough?
Well, for the moment, that's some things.
Enormous.
And then we are gearing up for Christmas. I mean, I know, a lot of people complain, that people start on Christmas too early, but I mean, it's for me, after Halloween, I'm ready for Christmas. But yeah, normally we have our Polar Express event. But Becca says I've been in this mood, or because of COVID and just the past year and a half, that we've kind of been through, that I have this, we've got to be new and fresh. So this year we're not doing Polar Express, but I don't want the parents of our littles to worry. We are going to have something. I think it's going to be super fun, just as fun, if not more, than Polar Express. And just to give a little hint, because we haven't got all the details ironed out yet, but kind of speaking along the lines of these dinosaurs, I have heard that one of Santa's elves is on the loose.
What?
Yeah.
We have library networks, and we pick up on things.
Please tell me it's not Buddy.
Well, I've heard an elf is on the loose, and that we might need help trapping him.
Oh my goodness.
So there's a book called How to Catch an Elf, and we're going to be using it because I heard we're going to need it to help us give us some ideas. Yeah, to catch this elf.
Where do we find the book? Can we get that at George Coon?
You can. We have it. How to Catch an Elf. Yes.
I'm going to tell you what. These are some busy kids. You got to catch dinosaurs, and so that we can get those out of here, so that we can go catch an elf. There is all kinds of fun happening. You know what I love about the library? It's getting that imagination going. It's magic. Yeah. It's putting the magic back in the day. I love. Oh, I'm so excited. Tell us the website and phone numbers and all that good stuff. Remind us how to get a hold of you.
So our website is georgecounpubliclibrary.com. You can find us on Facebook with George Coon Public Library. And then our telephone number again is 270-365-2884.
Miss Michelle Fon, Rebecca Full, how do we find our virtual story room?
Yes. So what we're going to start doing is every Tuesday at 10 when we post our virtual story, what we're going to do is in the comments we'll just include that link every week with it. So once you watch your story, then you can follow up and click that. So it'll be the same all month long, but we'll just put that little reminder out every week.
I'm going to tell you what, it's so much fun. I appreciate you guys so much. I am so stinking excited. Yeah. And I was serious. We're going to come down and say howdy do at the job fair. So make sure you get on there. We're going to have all of the stuff on our website, and I'm going to be posting and sharing a bunch of those things. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
I am so excited for the holidays. Hang on. We're going to go from George Coon and fighting dinosaurs to we're going to go to the woods, y'all, for History Channel's Alone. Don't go anywhere.
Is that the doorbell?
Hey, come on
We'll be back in just a few minutes and see who's at the door. Coffee Talk on 1580, 103.3 WPKY.
Hello, friends. This is Donnie Baker with Audubell Hearing Center, and I'm here to tell you that not all hearing aids are created equal. They may look the same on the outside, but it's the brain on the inside that counts. Our new VIA hearing aids were recently awarded Time Magazine's Best 100 Inventions of 2019. Come experience the Audubell difference. Offices in Paducah, Murray, and Princeton. Call 270-554-1900 today.
Shopping for furniture doesn't have to take forever, be a hassle, or feel like a chore. At Rooms for Less, you'll experience quality service when shopping the hottest lines the industry has to offer. A Rooms for Less sales representative will work with you one-on-one to ensure you find exactly what you need. Starting from scratch or upgrading old furniture has never been easier. You can also apply for up to 48 months of interest-free financing. Visit their Hopkinsville location on Fort Campbell Boulevard next to McDonald's. Come shop with Rooms for Less today, your local furniture and mattress headquarters.
Grab your cup and be a part of the conversation. Coffee Talk on 1580 103.3 WPKY, worldwide at WPKYonline.com.
I think one of my most excited times, and don't get me wrong, here Riley's going to laugh at me, but I get very excited about a lot of things. However, one of the things that I get the most excited about is when it's deer season. And I'm going to tell you, there's a guy on the phone that knows about as much about deer and hunting and all that good stuff as anybody I've ever met in my life. Mr. Keith Sayers!
How are you, Tess? How are you this morning?
I am good. How are you?
Oh, I'm a little cool, but I'm good.
I bet you're a little chilled out, although you're back from Alaska, so I bet it's warmer here.
Yeah, it was for a minute. Now it's about the same, which is fine with me. I could miss every Kentucky summer for the rest of my life and be okay with that.
Well, I'm going to tell you what. Yesterday, I kind of thought about you, buddy, because we were coming home. I had been to an event yesterday, and we were headed home in the evening. And I'm going to tell you, maybe 50 foot from my house, this buck jumps out in front of the Hummer. And I mean, I thought I had seen big deer in my day, but Keith Sayers, this was the biggest, most gargantuan stinking buck I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, it's getting to be that time of year where you don't ever know where they're going to show up. And unfortunately, they show up in front of your vehicle more often than not.
Well, when I heard, when I say fat and sassy, I mean, this dude was huge. Now, and I'm hearing reports that the deer this year seem to be extra plump for some reason.
Yeah, it could be, a sign of a bad winter. Actually, you bring that up, that's a pretty true statement. My wife killed a deer with a crossbow about a week or two ago, and it was extremely, extremely fatty. It was unusual, actually, for this time of year anyway. I mean, I've seen them up in December have that layer of fat, but this guy was probably one of the fattest deers I've skinned, I would say.
Well, and that's kind of what we saw yesterday. And I thought, my goodness, I don't think I've ever seen, and I mean, I've seen a lot of deer over the years because of where we live, but that dude just impressed me because, I mean, that was the biggest one I thought I'd ever seen. Now, that doesn't impress me half as much as your wife and the crossbow. I think that's pretty cool.
She's not much of a gun person, but she definitely loves a crossbow.
Well, now, you guys are still whittling those out over there, too, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've got a lady coming in from Wisconsin today to do a 3-day bow building class.
Now, how cool is that? When you say a bow building class, what does that involve?
It can involve anything from a pre-cut blank to an actual taking it all the way down from a stave that I've cut somewhere. Usually I do a little bit of salvage logging. If farmers are fixing to take out fence rows or something, I know there's good bow wood. I'll go try to cabbage that up, and that's what we're going to do this go round. She's going to build one from an actual stave I cut.
Well, the other thing that I wanted to make sure that I told you is about to have a come apart. While you were in Alaska, we had a black bear that was roaming around probably your property. It was roaming around mine, and I thought, man, where is Keith Sayers now? He needs to be here with this black bear.
Yeah, I got to see a little bit of that, actually. Some of what people had posted on social media, and it's kind of funny and ironic, I suppose, because about that time, the salmon were really starting to run where I was, and some of the fishing trips we were taking up the creeks. I was around more black bear than I was people for a couple weeks in a row. A lot of close encounters, 15 yards or so. Really, really interesting animal, and I wish they would reestablish here. They were here before we were here, so it seems only right that they come back. And I think people get freaked out by them, but they definitely can inflict some damage if they want to. But where I bear hunting over in North Carolina, it's similar to here. And they, other than basically raccoon problems, bears getting in trash and that type thing, you don't really have a whole lot of bad encounters with them.
Well, and don't get me wrong, I want to make sure that everybody knows where to find your videos, too, because you have got some of the coolest videos, whether it be there at your place here in Kentucky or, when you were in Alaska over the last few months. Of course, at Ramshackle Homestead, there is a ton of videos that they can check out, which are just really... I mean, you go down the rabbit hole, man. You've got us... when I start watching them, I can't stop.
Yeah, we're not really good at any one thing. We're just, I think we're kind of like a Leatherman. We're good for a lot of things, not great for anything.
Well, you brought up with one of them, I think it was yesterday or the day before where you posted about the raccoon.
Oh, yeah.
And, that's a discussion that we've been having amongst a lot of the, not just hunters, but just in general, the farmers and even the conservationists around this area, because, turkey populations in the last year, there has been, some decline in those populations. And for some people are blaming raccoons.
I think it definitely is one of the biggest contributing factors, especially the numbers that we're seeing show up on trail cams. Because, I mean, there will be, I think the picture I posted actually was a lease that we have, a friend of mine's trail cam picture. And there wasn't a corn pile, it was actually a persimmon tree in the edge of a cornfield. And there were 12 or 18 raccoons he said he had in that one picture.
Oh, my goodness. I was thinking you were getting ready to say 4 or 5, but, man, that sounds a little extreme to me.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy because it's definitely nothing to have 4 or 5 in a photo and as many as 12. And we definitely saw a downturn in the turkey population. I don't know that is a big factor, but I think it's definitely a factor when you have that many small predators that are definitely egg eaters. And as we're having this conversation, I'm still sitting in a deer stand. This is how real this interview is. I'm watching about 12 turkeys at about 300 yards right now.
And that's why we love having you on right there. Well, when you think about it, with those turkey numbers going down, if you want to really get to the meat of it, that can really hit our wallet here in this area, too.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, we have a big influx of people, especially with all the WMAs we have around. People come in to turkey hunt and kind of known for, our turkey population and the quality of the hunt in this area. So, yeah, I think, I realize there's a depressed fur market and, so many factors that people just don't want to hunt or even, small game hunting, like what I said in my post, is not as, I guess for lack of a better word, sexy, or, people just, I don't think, do much of it anymore.
Well, and, that was one thing that when I was growing up, it was fairly, we had a guy that lived next door to us, or across the field from us anyway, that used to, that was one of his big things, is he did the fur trade with raccoons and different things like that. Are people just not, are they just not trapping and doing that anymore?
I think the trapper numbers are way down, and that's something, we usually do a trapping class here once a year. It's just good wildlife management. That's the bottom line. There's just things that are not going to get targeted unless they're targeted mostly by trappers. And you have skunks, weasels, raccoons, all pretty big predators as far as, your quail, your turkeys, woodcock, any kind of ground-range bird. They're definitely going to find the nest and do what they do. They're going to eat eggs.
Well, and of course, we go from turkey, but one of the big reasons why I called Keith, I said, we can't have a deer season this year without talking to you, because, we kind of look forward to seeing what you're seeing and kind of what you're forecasting this season to be like.
I think this is the week everybody that bow hunts needs to be in a tree. But I think here in the next few days, it'll probably, as I like to say, it'll pop off. I think the bigger deer will start coming out during the day. Actually, stand I'm sitting in right now, I saw a probably 140-inch class deer this morning cross about where these turkeys I'm watching are right now, actually. And let's see, Sunday, I saw a deer, I would say he was 130s, 140s, and I've seen, probably in the last week, I've seen 4 deer that I would consider, a good deer.
Well, and again, last year you and I talked about how extraordinarily nocturnal they just seemed to be last year. And so do you think we're making that turnaround this year?
From what I've seen in the past week, I think so. I think maybe this weather system's going to help make them be more active during the day. I'm hoping. I mean, it may have just been, I don't think it's odd luck that I seen that many decent bucks in the past week during daylight hours. But we still don't have a whole lot showing up on our cameras during the daytime. I had one last Friday about 7:30 in the morning, and that's really the only good deer I have daylight pictures of.
Well, and what are we looking at as far as what's drawing them in? Do you see them eating one thing over another, or what do they seem to be interested in at the moment?
Well, like I said, I haven't been here all summer, but I've really been in the woods a lot since I got home, and the mass crop this year is just unbelievable. There's acorns everywhere, a lot of persimmons, and I was actually in a place the other day checking it out. I haven't hunted it in several years, and the white oaks in there were just dumping acorns everywhere, and it looked like cattle had been in the trails that had coming in and out.
Oh, wow.
So
now, I'm hearing that some green ones are really falling this year, too. Is that what you're seeing?
Oh, yeah. Yep. I've seen, I guess I don't know if the wind, what's been going on, but it looked like a lot of stuff had fallen early.
Well, and that's kind of what a couple of the forecasters in the area said, that's a sign of a bad winter, too.
Well, I hope so.
You know what? That's what they're saying anyway. Do you think that the colder temps, last year, I will say, especially at the beginning of deer season, we seemed to have kind of a warm deer season going there for a little while, especially, we used to always hang up our meat and that sort of thing. Well, it's kind of hard to do, when it's well up into the 70s. Doesn't look like that's going to be the case this week. And it looks like, at least, around where a lot of us, don't get me wrong, I'm a novice. I like to bump around and go hunting, but I'm nowhere near an expert at it. But it looks like rut is in full season, and it looks like it's cold. So, is that going to be in our benefit?
I think so. I think I've looked at the long-range forecast, and as far as the gun hunters go, I don't think there's going to be a much better year that I've seen in a long while. Anyway, maybe 3. I think the year I came back from being on the lawn, it was cold. I want to say it got down to like 3 degrees there during the season, and that was a pretty good year. But this year, I think we're on track, definitely weather-wise, for everything to be right.
How many deer are you wanting to process and put up for your family this year? What's your goal?
We usually put up 4 to 5 is what I try, which we can everything. For the most part, I do have Freeman's Processing there in Sullivan, Kentucky. I have them do all my ground meat just because it's a lot easier for me to have somebody do that than it is for me to try to buy a grinder and all the stuff to go with it.
Oh, it's time consuming, man. That's something that'll take you a while.
Yeah, it definitely is. And we have a pretty cool outside kitchen, so we can do all the canning and processing out there. And then a friend of mine that hunts with us from North Carolina, he's got a 64-quart canner. So we usually set up shop and just knock everybody's out at the same time.
I'm going to tell you what, I've been seeing some different things that have been popping up. Anything that you're liking using in that tree stand, any attractant, or maybe anything you're putting on your clothes or anything this year?
You know me, bark and twigs mostly. I do this time of year usually, I guess a scent neutralizer, just whatever Walmart sells, and then the good old Tink 69. I'll hang a little bit of it in a tree. But other than that, I just try to keep my clothes hanging up out my woodshed, and I throw them in a bag with maybe some black walnuts or something overwhelming. Unfortunately, when I was in Alaska, I got a little shot of the COVID, so I still can't smell anything. So I don't know if I stink or not.
Oh, no. Well, surely to goodness the wife will tell you if you stink.
Oh, yeah, she's pretty good about that.
Yeah, if she's still letting you sleep indoors, Keith, it's a good chance that you don't stink too bad.
That is true. We smell like wood smoke most of the time anyway, so I figure that's a good cover scent.
I'm going to tell you what, buddy, I am so excited that you're back because I'm going to be ringing that phone every once in a while and checking in on you. I can't wait to hear how the burgoo with the coon taste.
Oh, sure, absolutely. Need to come over and have a big bowl of it. We'll leave the tail on for you.
Hey, I'm redneck enough. I've had some raccoon. Thank you very much. I do live my hillbilly ways, thank you. But, some people really like it, and you compared it a little bit to bear meat.
Yeah, I actually, I kind of like it better than I like bear meat. Bear meat's kind of dependent on what they eat. It seems like raccoons are always well-fed, usually corn-fed. So, I mean, if you haven't tried it, people out there, you got to give it a whirl, barbecue it or put it in a crock pot. You really be pleasantly surprised, I believe.
Well, I'll tell you what, man, I wish to goodness I had another hour. I would love to check in with you next week and see what you found this week and see if those numbers do end up popping up. And hopefully we can talk to you when you've had a couple this week, huh?
Yeah, I'm going to try to get out and, I've hunted every day probably for the past week. I'll continue to do that between trying to get stuff done around here and this bow building class I've got going on. But
how do we get involved in classes and stuff like that?
Our website is ramshacklehomestead.com. Going there, we have usually a list of classes. I'm going to be honest, I've been kind of lazy since I've been back. I haven't really sat down and made up a schedule, but I probably will. But you can always get in contact with us. Anything we offer on there is also, offered kind of like what I'm doing the next 3 days is a solo class. So you can set, kind of customize it to what you want it to be.
Well, I'm going to tell you what, you can learn from the best, Mr. Keith Sires and Jen as well. And remind us of that website.
It's www.ramshacklehomesteadsurvival.com. And of course, you can find us on all the social media, Facebook, Instagram. I think I might even have a TikTok account or something like that now.
I'm going to tell you, I'm going to encourage them to do so because, man, your videos, you got me hook, line, and sinker.
Well, I appreciate that.
Well, you be safe up in that tree stand, and we'll catch up with you next week. How about that?
All right, sounds good.
Go get them. Thanks, man. I'm going to tell you what, I love talking to that guy, Keith Sires. Of course, he was actually on History Channel's Alone a couple of seasons ago, and could not be prouder of him. And him and his wife, Jen, Ramshackle Homestead, just a phenomenal pair of people, just good human beings. And I'll tell you, his wife is just about as capable as he is, Brother Harold Riley. I mean, she's something else.
Able to get in the woods and get her done.
Well, how often do you get to talk to somebody on the phone when they're in a tree stand?
Every once in a while, just because of some of the people I know, but not a full-blown interview like you just did.
Well, I will say, if they're calling a preacher from the tree stand, something's probably about gone horribly wrong.
Well, sometimes it is a preacher from the tree stand. Matter of fact, this week we got pastors in the outdoors that are coming in today. They all ought to be in a tree by noon. And as you just heard, the weather's just right for them. Couldn't have planned it any better. So they'll be out with us tonight to eat after they come in out of the woods.
And so pray for them. And then we follow up Thursday with Keith Boggs, going to be at Man Church down at First Baptist Church at 6:30 Thursday night. Got barbecue ready. Going to have a good time. So Man Church with some former folks from Princeton going to come in and do the worship. Brother Carl Hinton will be there. Him and Steve Martin going to lead some of the worship and be a part of what's going on. So we look forward to hanging out with those guys. Pray for them as they're here. If you see them in town, encourage them, buy them a cup of coffee or do something just to let them know that you appreciate them being out preaching and doing what they do.
I'm going to tell you what. Now, this is kind of Joseph's and H&R Ministries' busy season, right?
We're getting there. Yes, we are preparing for a sale day for those that we mentioned. Sometimes the verbiage that's used, it's not less fortunate, folks. It's people that are trying to do what they need to do for themselves. And I ask that folks would consider maybe their gift closet or the gift drawer, getting some of those things and those items down there for folks to be able to peruse and get a hold of. And then we got the backpack program coming up. As a matter of fact, today at 1:30 we'll be receiving 2 trailer loads, and we'll have to sort those out and get them ready for December the 14th through the 16th. On the 14th, we will respond to the officers and their families from the 3 surrounding facilities. That's Green River, Western Kentucky Correctional Complex, which includes Ross Cash, as well as the Kentucky State Penitentiary, and help those folks with those backpacks. So from 1 to 8 that day, as well as 1 to 6 the other 3 days, for the local community to come in. Somebody asked me, is that just for Princeton? No. If you know folks in Crittenden, Trigg, Lyon, the surrounding area that needs support and encouragement, come see us. And then what's left over from that event, we do have a couple other outlets that we partner with to make sure that folks are getting those products ready for Christmas. So come be a part of it. If you can help in labor, contact the office at 270-365-6044. We need box toters, sorting that stuff out and get it ready. And then in 2 weeks...
Muscle.
Yeah, then in 2 weeks, we'll prepare to receive the folks that are coming to get that from other ministries. So we're a regional coordinator for that. It's not all about HR Ministries. It's about helping support the kingdom and what we're doing. So keep that in mind.
A busy man.
Well, we not really. Not as busy as we used to be. We're headed to West Tennessee State Prison. We also, next week, will be sharing with a rehab in Elizabethtown. There's 500 folks in that facility and going up with them. And then we have an opportunity over at Madisonville Community College next week to speak to their FISH program or their BCM, Baptist Collegiate Ministries. And kind of doors are swinging open, getting back in the groove of, I think people are dropping the scaredness, and they're also ready for participation and stuff. So that helps us define ministry and praying about what we need to do with that, because I've been challenged in recent days. Many people have not gone through experiencing God or the process of living the Spirit-filled life, which means we're responding to what God's doing. We're not just going to do for Him. And I'd love to be a part of helping and encouraging folks understand what that looks like, so that you're just not wearing yourself out trying to please God, rather than being a part of what He's doing and then being pleased, because there's a big difference. And so we are meeting today. If you're out there listening, Pastor Leader, and you want to come at noon at the office, we'll be having lunch and prayer time again, continuing to press in, pray for revival, and pray for our area and pray for each other. But anything we can do to help folks in this season, feel free to contact us, because we're interested in being a part of what you're doing.
As you go back into the prisons, is there anything that you have need-wise?
We have a list on Facebook right now of things that are needed for West Tennessee State Prison. We're in very few. Hopefully January we will introduce ourselves into the Ohio Department of Corrections. Had a telephone call just recently about wanting to put, some of our programming there, whether that's Malachi Dads or some of the other things that we do with Real Momentum. Not real sure about that yet. May start out with Better Man there, and then we still have to revisit the Louisiana State Prison. Started out there, was supposed to be in October, but of course another wave of COVID hit, and that causes people to lose their minds, and you can't get in the door. So waiting on Kentucky to open the doors And then we will be doing something potentially at the Caldwell County Jail System for Christmas and holidays, those kind of things. So staying busy. If you want to know, come down and join us. Catch us on Facebook at HR Ministries, or go to the website at hrministries.net and sign up for a newsletter. We'll send it to you every week by email. And come join us. If you want to know, just come by. See Brother Roger. He's now the director at Joseph Storage Bin. Catch Jonas. He's available. And then you can go up in the office. Jill will be happy to talk to you in all that's going on to see where you can get plugged in, what you need to be doing. We have had a little bit of an uptick in folks discussing homelessness and just financial needs. And I think the deeper we go towards winter, you mentioned a hard winter. With the prediction of cold weather and the prediction of fuel bills going up, check on your neighbor. There may be some needs coming up that we haven't seen before. So be prepared.
There's a lot of signs that are pointing to, I mean, we won't know till we get there and get in the middle of it, of course, but there are a lot of signs that are just pointing to include forecast from all over the place that are saying, you know what, if nothing else, even if we don't receive as much snow as what we think we will, the temperatures are, by golly, they're going to drop and they're going to stay.
I think it'll be a shorter season, but it'll be cold while it's here. That's what I think. And so I with that and the prediction of an increase of fuel bills and electric bills, your neighbor may need some help. So we just had the opportunity. That being said, Arizona Missions, Alpha Ministries, if you bring clothes and those kind of things and you see people buying and purchasing, know that funding goes for a lot of stuff. We just sent funding for, I think, about 10 families to have firewood in the reservation in Arizona through Alpha Ministries, and there are other things like that happening. So you are supporting when you come down there and shop, and you're giving some things that are outside the realm of Caldwell County, but they also help right here in the midst of what's going on.
Remind us your contact information again.
270-365-6044. Come see us Thursday night, 6:30, First Baptist Church, CLC building, Man Church, Keith Bogsby preaching. It's all free. Food's good. I promise you, I'm a fat man. Come and eat with us.
Brother Harold Riley, we love you, man. Thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am.
HR Ministries.
Thanks for joining us this morning for Coffee Talk.
Good morning, Caldwell County.
Our chance to get together and catch up on what's going on in our area.
Thanks for letting me come over.